Today, we're discussing the potential for Busia Senator Okiya Omutata to win the 2027 Kenyan presidential election. Here's why he might just make history. 1. The impact of Ruto's regime. The recent events on the 25th, where Ruto's regime was perceived as responsible for the tragic deaths of young protesters, have drastically shifted public sentiment. The phrase, "even a cockroach can beat Mr. Ruto at the ballot," has become a rallying cry for those disillusioned by the current government's actions.
Ati sahi mtu anasema ati Ruto 10 years kumpafu wewe. Yaani Mkenya nilisema hapa, Mkenya ni mtu wa kusahau. Ati umesahau zile vitu Ruto alikuwa anafanya nyuma. Ati sasa napanua mdomo ati Ruto mulele kumpafu wewe.
This has not only increased sympathy for Omutata, but also highlighted the need for a leader who prioritizes human rights and youth welfare.
And I stand here to look at whether this House has complied with the Constitution.
2. Legal and political experience. His legal background and involvement in numerous high-profile cases challenging government actions have given him a unique credibility. His legal battles against the IEBC and other state agencies have painted him as a defender of democracy. This experience could resonate with voters looking for someone who truly understands the intricacies of governance and can navigate the legal landscape of Kenyan politics. 3. Grassroots support and public perception. Okiya Omutata has become a household name, not just in Busia, but across Kenya. His reputation as a staunch advocate for constitutional rights and transparency has won him widespread support. His past electoral success in Busia, where he ran on a platform of integrity and justice, could be a blueprint for a national campaign. He's seen as a man of the people, not beholden to any political dynasty or corporate interest. 4. Social media mobilization. Twitter and TikTok, the platforms that facilitated the largest protests ever seen in Kenya, have now turned into amplifiers for Omutata's cause. These social media giants, which were instrumental in mobilizing the youth, are now fully supporting him. Their influence has been crucial in spreading his message, organizing support, and galvanizing voters around his campaign for change and accountability. 5. Advocacy for electoral reform. Omutata has been a vocal proponent for electoral reform, especially advocating for a digital, transparent voting system. His push for devolving the presidency and reducing the influence of tribalism in elections could appeal to those disillusioned by the current political setup. His conditions for running, like ensuring a digital election, might signal to voters his commitment to fair elections. 6. The anti-corruption narrative. Kenya has long battled with corruption, and Omutata's consistent fight against it could be his strongest asset. In a post-William Ruto era, where anti-corruption rhetoric has been prominent, Omutata could capitalize on this narrative. His track record of not succumbing to political pressures might convince voters he could lead a corruption-free administration. In conclusion, while the road to the presidency is fraught with challenges, Okiya Omutata's unique blend of legal acumen, grassroots support, focus on electoral reform, and anti-corruption stance, combined with the backlash against Ruto's regime and the support from social media platforms, could position him as a formidable candidate for the 2027 Kenyan presidential election. Whether he can turn this potential into victory will depend on how these factors play out in the dynamic landscape of Kenyan politics.